This is Top Accolade African News Updates. I am Soibifa Jakarich. Some members of the Namibian ruling party are calling for the expulsion of European Union (EU) envoys from the country over a meeting with a top opposition figure last week. The envoys met the Independent Patriots for Change (IPC) opposition party leader Panduleni Itula last Tuesday at the residence of the German ambassador Thorsten Hutter in the capital, Windhoek. The meeting has sparked strong criticism from the government and the ruling Swapo party. Vice President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah said the meeting amounted to highly questionable diplomacy, suggesting potential interference in the upcoming elections in the Southern African country, local media reported. In a statement on Sunday, the Swapo Party Youth League (SPYL) condemned diplomats from Germany, Finland, France, Spain, and Portugal and called for their expulsion from Namibia. It urged Namibian authorities to declare any foreign missions representatives who seek to interfere in the internal affairs of our country as persona non grata without compromise. But the EU mission in Namibia has denied claims that it discussed state matters or engaged in activities that could interfere in the upcoming elections in November. It termed the meeting an informal lunch to discuss the situation in Namibia, including Mr. Itula's election campaign. The organizers of the Belgium Half Marathon have opened an investigation into allegations of race fixing involving Ethiopian and Kenyan athletes. In footage that has gone viral on social media, Ethiopian athletes Dejen Hailu and Kenyan runners Robert Keta and Willie Mnangat appeared to intentionally let Chinese athletes He win Sunday's half marathon. The African trail seemed to slow down as they approached the finish line and repeatedly signaled He to overtake them to the finish line. He, the 2023 Asian Games marathon gold medalist, was then congratulated by the three African athletes after he won the race by a second. Some Chinese social media users have criticized his win as embarrassing and unsportsmanlike amid speculations that the race results was manipulated. "We are investigating and will announce the results to the public once they are available," a representative of the Belgium Sports Bureau told AFP news agency. The race organizer also confirmed an investigation had been launched. AFP reported neither he, Hailu, Kita, or Nangat have commented on the investigations. Several African countries have called on Israel to show restraint as its war cabinet meets to decide whether to retaliate against an unprecedented Iranian aerial attack on Saturday night. Iran said it carried out the assault in response to an Israeli airstrike on its consulate in Damascus on 1st April that killed Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps officers. The attack involved more than 300 drones and missiles. The vast majority were intercepted, Israeli military said. Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, and Somalia are African countries that have called for restraints to avoid further escalation. South Africa's Department of International Relations and Cooperation said in a statement on X that all parties must exercise the utmost restraint and avoid any act that would escalate tensions in a particular fragile region. Kenyan President William Ruto urged Israel to show utmost restraint, taking into account the urgent need for all parties to walk away from the brink beyond which recovery will be enormously difficult. He said the Iranian attack represents a real and present threat to the international peace and security. Somalia called on the international community to take swift and decisive action to de-escalate the situation and reduce the risk of further conflicts. The Nigerian Foreign Ministry urged Israel and Iran to reflect on the universal commitment to peace resolution of conflicts. Neither Iran nor Israel has extensive political ties in sub-Saharan Africa. The human rights charity Amnesty International has joined calls for Nigerian government to halt the sale by Shell of its onshore oil business in the country, unless human rights in the Niger Delta are protected. The charity says the proposed sale risks worsening human rights abuses if the pollution caused by the oil company is not addressed. It says Shell must provide sufficient funds to clean up the environmental damage it caused and that local communities be consulted on the sale, worth more than than $2.4 billion, that is 2 billion euros. Activists blame Shell for frequent oil leaks in the Niger Delta that, among other problems, have led to the contamination of groundwater sources. Nigeria's government has not commented. Shell has previously promised that the new owners would deal with the damages. That is the size of top accolade African news updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy Monday.